Hi everyone, today's State of Platform answers one question. How do we make it easier for you to advertise at scale and on brand? My name is Bram and that question has driven us for the last 14 years. How do we help you produce at scale and stay on brand? We get there by listening to you and combining that with our product vision. So we create solutions that actually move the needle. In this episode of State of Platform, we'll show you what's new since we last met. But before we dive in, let me set the scene. A lot of you watching are in retail, grocery retail, or producing campaigns at scale across hundreds of stores, channels, formats, and let's not forget languages. You've got two sides of the house. The headquarters, your team is responsible for the brand system. Every design system, every component, every guardrail that keeps the brand intact. And the local level, your stores are turning that system into tomorrow's sign, this week's leaflet, this afternoon's digital display. Both sides are on the clock, and every piece has to land on brand. And if one side slows down, the other waits or goes DIY. Either way, the brand pays. That's exactly what CHILI GraFx is built for, and everything we're showing to you today is in service of making both sides faster, without losing brand control. Alright, let's get started. We've got Raf on the call as well. Hey Raf.
Hey Bram, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a great session for you today. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat.
Alright, the star of today's show is the brand new feature called Components. If you've been around with us, you'll recognize a resemblance with snippets, but then reinvented and heavily improved. With Components, your team spends less time maintaining design systems and more time launching campaigns. And because the brand rules live inside the components, consistency just travels with them. Raf, can you give us an overview of what a component is and what it changes for the people building design systems?
Sure. So in a nutshell, components are reusable elements. Let me give you an example. Grocery and retail chains are known for using sophisticated design systems. And that's because they use a lot of different elements, like promo types, product images, product info, dates, and pricing elements. Now, let's focus on them for a second. Because they're complex and used on different types of design systems, you would need to create those pricing elements from scratch every time you create a design system. And that can be very tedious. Now, instead, I can just open the components panel, select it, and drop it onto my design. That's much simpler and a lot faster. Now, this is one example for a pricing system for retail, but you can create many different types of components, such as banners or menu blocks.
Right, reusable, on-brand and protected from brand drift. Your central team stops rebuilding the same pieces and starts maintaining one master version. That's where the time savings and the actual brand consistency come in. Raf, can you show us how to create and use a component in a design system?
So you go to Components and start creating. Now, to make it very intuitive, we kept the interface very similar to the one used for design systems. Here, for instance, we created a component for our pricing element. On the left-hand side, we've got the Components layout panel, and each layout represents a different deal. And on the right-hand side, we've got variables for that component, such as the discounted price, regular price, price per unit of measurement, etc. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now, instead of having to build a pricing element from scratch, I can just open the components panel and then just drop the component onto my design and map variables using drop-downs to connect it. Done. What's more? Well, you can place multiple components on your design. So if you're creating a poster or a leaflet, for instance.
Thanks, Raf. This one has been on the request list for a while. And we shipped it because we kept hearing the same thing from marketing leaders, that the next unlock isn't just another feature. It's a totally different way of building a design system. If you'd like a deeper demo or want to try it yourself, just reach out. We are happy to walk you through it. Now, components rely on your brand kit for colors, fonts, style kits, character styles, and so on. That's where the second big update of this quarter sits. Raf, can you walk us through what's new with brand kits?
We've made brand kits smarter. So what you see with other solutions is that a brand kit is created and applied to a design. But when something changes, like a color or a font, you gotta update all designs manually, and this takes forever. What we did is create an auto sync option. So when you change something on your brand kit, all designs using that brand kit update automatically. So that color you updated or that new font you're using for your headlines, those are replaced instantly.
So we've got components flowing into design systems, and brand kits keeping every design system on brand. The other part of our promise is to create at scale. You want to connect to the systems you're already running and produce at the volume your operation requires, without anyone copy-pasting data between tools. Raf, can you show the audience what we can do with data connectors?
Sure. Well, first, we've got a new data connector, CSV. So if your data resides on a CSV file, you can connect it to CHILI GraFx today. Literally. Okay, so now about automation. You can use our data connector to connect your data to CHILI GraFx and produce at scale. That means these signs for your stores, you can produce them on time and headlessly, meaning automatically. That massive online campaign you're running with all your marketing pillars across platforms and all of the targeting involved, that too. You can produce all of your creatives just like that. All you need is a CSV file with data, such as prices, product info, dates, etc. A DAM to link your images, whether it's product shots or lifestyles, and a design system in GraFx Studio. That's it.
Great, so you can mass produce in batches. But what about the edge cases? That's one sign that wasn't in the export or got damaged in store. But on only a missing piece, local teams also want to be able to customize materials on the fly. Raf, can you show us how local teams can do that? You got a pretty relatable example, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something we refer to as the one-click sign. So in the grocery retail environment, local teams need to produce signs in store throughout the week. And that's because signs they receive from corporate are either missing or get damaged or are outdated. So now, asking corporate to resend them is costly and takes time. So instead, a staff member can log into GraFx Experience, click the product, and the sign is created. The reason why they're able to do this is because in the back, there's a design system in GraFx Studio, and it's connected to the retail company's data system. So everything's live. But there's also another use case here. Local teams also need to create signs on the fly because they mark down a lot of products in each store. And you can also do that in GraFx Experience because it includes brand guardrails. In the end, anyone can produce signs in seconds. We've done a whole webinar on this actually, where we connect binder and data to GraFx Experience. So if you'd like to see more, especially retail examples, please feel free to watch it. It's on our YouTube channel.
We spend a lot of time on the bigger features, but there's a lot more worth mentioning. Let's do a quick fire round on what else is released. Raf, you go first.
All right, so first, there's InDesign and Photoshop plugins that have been updated. So that means even more support for your existing designs.
The API team shipped several updates, making integration even easier. To mention one, importing components into the platform.
Don't forget image crops and constraints. This lets end users edit images within brand guidelines.
And talking about images, you can now apply clipping masks to your images to allow even more creative freedom.
Then we have text constraints to allow inline editing, but still stay on brand.
And to help you organize your design systems, we introduced tags that allows easier organization of your smart templates.
We can now also define smart crop subjects, so your smart crop can be pointed to a specific subject in a dynamic image, like a face or a product, for instance. Okay, I know it's a lot of features, but let's mention GraFx Labs. So this is where we share applications we're working on. We've got 2 types of AI-powered image generators, and they focus on taking your product shots and placing them in different settings. So there's a big emphasis on branding here. Feel free to try them out and give us some feedback, because your feedback will shape what's coming next.
All right, that was a lot. Let's land this. If there's one headline this quarter, it's all things working together. Components and the updates around brand kits and all other new features. Together, they change how you build a design system from a static file you keep updating into a live system that follows your brand. That is the real takeaway. If you're new to CHILI GraFx and want to try this out, register for a discovery environment. The link will be in the description. If you are already a customer, everything we showed today is live for you right now. Open Graphics Studio and give it a try. And if you're still on Graphics Publisher, just reach out to your account manager. We'll get you upgraded. Graphics Publisher and Graphics Studio can run side by side. So there's no rip and replace. You sunset legacy templates on your schedule, while everything new lands on Graphics Studio and starts compounding in value from day one. The upgrade is also how you future-proof your production. Everything coming next quarter and the one after is built for CHILI GraFx. Thanks for spending the time with us today. See you next quarter.
Thanks everyone. See you next time.